In the wild Serengeti, danger always silently surrounds. When baboons face brutal predators, where is the boundary between the hunter and the hunted? Serengeti. Baboons and the fierce battle for survival. Serengeti. The wild heart of Africa, where the red sun rises from the horizon, lighting up the endless sea of Doaza grass. On that savanna, herds of antelope, zebra, and buffalo migrate one after another, while the lone acacia trees draw dim shadows against the vast sky. That majestic beauty always hides a cruel truth. Behind each bush, under each tree, bloodthirsty predators still wait silently. In that scene, a troop of more than 50 baboons is moving. The cubs clung tightly to their mother's belly, the females crowded in the middle for protection, while the male leader Kano led the way with a watchful eye, his sharp white fangs gleaming in the dawn light. They were not only looking for food and water, but also fighting for survival, because just a moment of inattention, the whole group could become prey on this harsh grassland. While the baboons continued to move, the grass suddenly swayed abnormally. Deep inside, the cheetah's bright eyes flashed, every muscle tensed, ready to explode in speed. The baboons had no idea, at this moment, they were the perfect target. The attack began. Immediately, Kano charged straight towards the predator. The whole group gathered into a living wall, forcing the cheetah to retreat. The fastest hunter on the grassland was forced to flee. The attack had subsided. On the steppe, the grass gradually dissipated, leaving behind the resounding victory cries of the baboons. In that seemingly chaotic moment, people saw clearly the truth. Their true strength did not lie in their claws, but in their intelligence and solidarity. Baboons, a special primate of the Serengeti. With a long snout reminiscent of a dog, sharp fangs that are no less than any predator, they carry within them a fierce appearance that is both scary and attractive. However, behind that ferocity is a tight, disciplined society where each individual has his own position. Leading the herd is Kano, the brave alpha male, always alert to danger and ready to risk his life to confront predators to protect his own kind. The females unite in small groups, sharing the care of their young. And the active, curious baby baboons are the heart of the herd, the reason for the whole group to risk their lives to fight. The lives of baboons are also full of interesting contrasts. They can become predators, not hesitating to attack rabbits, baby birds, and even small antelopes. But most of the time, they wander around looking for fruits, roots, and insects. Sometimes curiosity leads them to special feasts, wild beehives. The sweetness of honey is an irresistible delicacy, but in return the whole group must endure the painful stings of hundreds of angry bees. In the midst of this chaos, only Kano, the leader, recklessly rushes to tear open the nest, devouring the golden honey. The others can only stand by and watch, both greedy and afraid. Kano has no intention of sharing.
Each drop of honey stuck to his facial hair becomes proof of the ruler's supreme privilege.
In baboon society, even the sweetest moments are tinged with the bitter taste of danger and monopoly. Under the canopy, life gathered in large numbers and was noisy. A troop of baboons crowded around the lower branches, hastily plucking clusters of green fruit and young leaves. Higher up, a few agile vervet monkeys swung from branch to branch, eagerly fighting for each piece of soft leaf. At the base of the tree, a troop of small mongooses nimbly picked up fallen fruit, occasionally raising their heads in alertness at unusual noises. A little further away, the majestic figures of several elephants slowly approached. They stretched out their powerful trunks, breaking branches, taking advantage of the best parts without fear of anyone daring to fight for them. In that scene, baboons are still the noisiest, screaming and fighting, while other species quietly adapt in their own way. In the Serengeti, every meal is not only a need for survival, but also a vivid play where many species coexist, sharing and competing for their share. In a quiet corner of the savannah, a mother deer has just given birth. The fawn is still wet, its legs are trembling and cannot stand still. But that young life does not have time to enjoy the first moment of peace. From afar, screams are heard, then the shadow of a group of baboons approaches. In the chaos, they rush in. The mother deer is helpless, and the small fawn quickly becomes a victim. Even the sacred moment of life can be cut short by the fierce survival instinct. Dawn rises again on the Serengeti savannah. The golden sunlight spreads across the dew-dampened grass, awakening life after a harsh night. The baboons gather on the high mound. The females gently caress their young, picking lice, caressing as if to soothe the remaining anxiety from the night before. The young cubs chirp and play, their loud calls echoing across the sky, signaling a new day full of hope. However, the Serengeti is never truly peaceful. The place where the baboons choose to live is also the domain of another force, the lion. The true king of the savannah. With a majestic body and rippling muscles, the lion is not only the ruler, but also a constant threat to any creature that dares to enter their territory. In the Serengeti, lions live in prides, strong hunting alliances, coordinated in harmony to take down large prey. They often lurk around areas with abundant food sources, and the noisy baboons sometimes accidentally enter their sight. In the eyes of lions, a lone baby baboon can become a light feast. But in the eyes of baboons, the silhouette of a lion looming in the distance is a death knell. In the shade of the golden grass, a lioness crouched low, her eyes locked on the baby baboon that was not protected by the group around her. What a careless situation. The air was heavy, the silence was suffocating. Then suddenly the lion rushed out like lightning. A heart-rending cry rang out, and the lion disappeared with the spoils, leaving the group in panic, screaming in despair. Night fell over the Serengeti. The silver moonlight stretched across the quiet grassland. After a day of chaos and loss, the baboons climbed into the high branches of trees, looking for shelter. The chirping of the young monkeys gradually faded into sleep, while Kano sat quietly observing the darkness, his eyes never leaving the deep night. In the darkness, predators silently appeared, leopards silently stalked, hyenas let out a terrifying laugh, owls spread their wings and soared through the sky. The Serengeti at night seemed quiet, but in fact it was a fierce arena where darkness became an ally of death. In the trees, the monkeys were uneasy. Some females pulled their young close to them. The silence was only a thin veil to hide danger. And while the darkness still covered, no one knew what would happen next. Dawn once again covered the Serengeti grasslands with gold. The sky was clear, herds of antelope and zebras grazed leisurely after a long, restless night. In the distance, hoarse, shrill laughter echoed. It was the hyena, the most despised carnivore, but also one of the most formidable predators here. In the daylight, the entire pack revealed its strange appearance: large, grotesque heads, jaws strong enough to crush bones, and sharp eyes that did not miss a single movement on the savannah. Contrary to the image of a common scavenger, hyenas are actually skillful hunters, coordinating their packs to take down prey as large as wildebeest or zebra. In the Serengeti, each species has its role in the cycle of life and death. And for the hyena, it is the ghostly laughter of the night and the cold brutality of the day. The ground of the Serengeti shook with the footsteps of thousands of migrating wildebeest. They followed the green grass, but to the predator, it was a giant mobile feast. On the lush green grass of the Serengeti, a herd of wildebeests pauses after a long migration. In the safe confines of the herd, a female is experiencing the most sacred moment, giving birth. She pushes with every breath, her body trembling, and in just a few minutes a small, still wet antelope calf falls to the soft grass. With strong instinct, the calf quickly tries to stand up, its legs trembling, starting the first steps of its life. But the Serengeti never allows this young life to enjoy complete peace. At the edge of the grass, low, stooping figures are approaching. They are hyenas, their eyes shining, their steel teeth bared, their ghostly laughter echoing. They don't wait long. When the calf toddles to catch up with the herd, the hyenas charge. The chase breaks out. And in the blink of an eye, the fragility of life was swallowed by the predator's brutal instinct. The tragedy of the mother and her child had just subsided, and the grass returned to silence. Serengeti, life and death are only a breath apart. And the wildebeest herd must continue its endless journey. Wildebeest, one of the most vivid symbols of the Serengeti. The migration of wildebeest stretches hundreds of kilometers, crossing arid grasslands in search of water and green grass. Along the way, they face countless dangers: lions, hyenas, leopards, and especially crocodiles when they have to cross the ferocious rivers. But despite the price, the herd of antelope still moves forward because the survival of the whole species depends on this endless journey. Under the murky waters of the Mara River, giant black shadows silently crawl across the muddy bottom. Nile crocodiles, perfectly hidden killers. They lie motionless, only their cold eyes showing above the water, patiently waiting for the moment when the herd of wildebeests is forced to rush into the river. The sound of water bursts as the first individuals slide into the fast current. Hundreds, then thousands follow, the river surface churning like breaking waves. It is then that the crocodile strikes. From the depths, a giant snout leaps up. The Mara River is stained red with the traces of cruelty. Finally, the herds of wildebeest reach the other side. The Mara River had taken many lives, but the strongest and most resilient individuals had made it through. They stood panting, mud still covering their bodies, their eyes still panicked but with a glimmer of hope. No one knew what dangers lay ahead, but at this moment, they had done it. They had overcome the harshest challenge of their survival journey. Which survival battle impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to follow the channel and ring the bell so you don't miss the next dramatic footage. The monkey invasion. Although it is known as the monkey forest, this place is not simply a shelter for a few wild monkeys. Ubud Monkey Forest, or Mandala Susi Winera Wana, is a sacred, wild, ancient and paradoxical living space located in the heart of Ubud town, Bali. Hidden under the shady canopy of ancient trees are mossy stone temples where people burn incense to the gods and reluctantly share their territory with more than 1,000 long-tailed macaques. Macaca fascicularis, intelligent, cunning, and socially organized indigenous residents. From the first step into the forest, one cannot help but be overwhelmed by the wild beauty of nature, sunlight penetrating through the dense forest canopy, tree roots protruding from the temple roof, like veins flowing backwards from the earth and sky, each clear chirping sound blending with the sound of the babbling brook, and the sound of monkeys calling each other echoing from everywhere like a never-ending background music. This is not a zoo. This is monkey territory, and you are just a guest. Balinese long-tailed macaques live in highly organized groups. Each group ranges from a few dozen to more than 100 individuals, with a clear hierarchy between the leader, the mother monkey taking care of her children, the curious and active baby monkeys, and even the old individuals quietly meditating under the tree, looking like they are recalling a life of glorious theft. Unlike their usual mischievous appearance, the monkeys here also have a strangely quiet demeanor. They can sit for hours watching tourists passing by, not to watch for anything, but as if observing humans with the eyes of a more experienced creature. But behind that gentle appearance is an instinctive intelligence, tempered through generations of living with humans. The monkeys here not only know how to survive, but also know how to develop a side job, and that job is organized petty theft. Don't be surprised if you suddenly see your sunglasses disappear from your face in the blink of an eye. Don't scream if the phone you just held is in the hands of a monkey climbing on an ancient stone pillar. And the strange thing is, it doesn't run away. It sits and waits. Its eyes are calm, as if saying, "Give me the banana." Then we'll figure it out. According to researchers from Udayana University, Indonesia and Kyoto, Japan, ubud monkeys have the ability to assess the value of objects. They know that sunglasses or phones can be exchanged for big bananas, but bottle caps or tissues are not worth the effort. Some individuals even know to hold things as hostages for longer to wait for a better price. The concept of transaction, the foundation of human society, has been developed by them instinctively, silently, and precisely. The scene sometimes looks like a reverse version of civilization. People bow to give grapes. Monkeys sitting on the temple roof nod, satisfied to return glasses. One even demands 2 bananas for a hat. If they don't agree, they throw it into the stream. The older monkeys seem to be very experienced with this skill, sitting cross-legged, holding the stolen item tightly, eyes looking straight ahead, calm like a veteran negotiator. Sometimes, people still think that monkeys can be lured with just a few bananas. But in ubud monkey forest, things are not that simple. The long-tailed residents here have coexisted with tourists long enough to upgrade their tastes. Bananas. Of course they are still a favorite, but not all bananas are accepted, and more monkeys are showing a clear indifference to the traditional fruit. Instead, they are starting to set their sights on something sweeter, more fragrant, and more Western. That is chocolate candy. Many times, people have witnessed a monkey snatching a tourist bag, rummaging through it, throwing away water and tissues, only keeping a shiny chocolate bar wrapped in paper. And it doesn't eat it in a hurry. It will carefully tear off the outer layer, sometimes using its teeth and hands very skillfully, and slowly enjoy each piece, like a gourmet tasting the sweets of the West. Some monkeys even know how to hide the chocolate at the base of a tree, saving it for later to avoid being stolen by their fellow monkeys. Many tour guides have warned, don't bring sweets to the monkey forest. Bananas are fine, but chocolate doesn't guarantee you'll still be able to eat it. Some older, more experienced individuals even ignore large bananas in exchange for a piece of cocoa-flavored candy. Clearly, this is no longer stealing because of hunger, but stealing according to personal culinary preferences. Researchers say that monkeys' love of chocolate is not just a natural sweet tooth, but also a result of learning. They see humans eating it, smell its delicious aroma, and gradually become addicted. Some young individuals, when they steal candy, even show it off to the whole group as if they have just owned an impressive achievement. Of course, not all individuals practice. Most still live the true life of monkeys, eating fallen fruit, playing on branches, taking care of their young, and participating in social activities in the group. But it is the presence of humans, the accidental exposure of shiny objects, that has caused a part of the monkey population to develop a new survival skill, stealing for food, and sometimes stealing is just a joke. In the sacred forest of Ubud, where the ancient temple is hidden under the dense forest, where the monkey god Hanuman is present on every moss-covered tile roof, there is a long-tailed monkey society that operates according to strict rules like a feudal dynasty. There, status determines everything: the right to eat, the right to rest, the right to live in peace. The high-ranking females enjoy privileges, surrounded by groomed and submissive subordinates. The low-ranking females, like a young mother monkey, can only hide at the edge of the forest, living on fallen fruit and raising their children in silence, always on guard against others taking away what little they have. That morning, when the forest was just waking up and the dew was still hidden in the foliage, disaster struck. A large female monkey, a leader of the group, childless but full of power, suddenly jumped down from a high branch. In a split second, she snatched the newborn baby from its mother's arms. The other monkeys immediately gathered around, not to stop it, but to protect the kidnapper, because according to the unspoken rules of the group, the one with status has more power than motherhood. The mother panicked and chased after her, but the whole group, dozens of monkeys, growling, rearing their backs, their eyes bloodshot, rushed out to block her path. Some of them rushed forward and knocked her down to the stone floor. Their screams echoing throughout the sacred temple roof. As if the whole society was saying in unison, "You are not qualified to claim your child back." But she did not retreat. With her motherly instinct, she let out a scream that shook the forest, then rushed into the group 4 or 5 times her size. The monkeys roared, bared their teeth in protest. Some clung to her, scratching, but she bit back, fought back, no longer a lowly individual but a warrior determined to die for her child. And then, amid the screams, blood, and dust, a real duel began. The mother monkey faced the leader himself, who was holding the baby as a trophy. Both females straightened up, hissing menacingly. The leader rushed forward, intending to kill him quickly, but the mother, with her agility, her protective instinct, and her madness for her child, dodged the blow, gave her opponent a strong slap in the face, and then suddenly pushed him down from the high stone platform. Silence fell. The monkeys retreated. No one expected that a lowly being would dare and could defeat the leader. The baby monkey crawled tremblingly towards its mother, nestling its head in her chest. The mother crouched, holding her baby close, as if the world were collapsing. But she still held on to what was most precious to her. She roared one last time, not a threat, but a declaration of sovereignty. Each monkey retreated silently, as if admitting defeat. There were no more fierce eyes, only the sound of panting, sunlight falling on the shaggy fur, and the weak sobbing of a child whose mother had just taken it back from the strong. And so, on the roof of the ancient temple, in the middle of the ancient forest, maternal love, seemingly weak, overturned the balance of an entire system of power. In that moment, a lowly mother was no longer a monkey underdog. She was the queen of instinct, the victor of life, and proof that with enough love, all barriers can be torn apart by the claws of an unyielding heart. Dawn fell gently on the top of Hua Hin Temple, a Buddhist temple located on a hill overlooking the Gulf of Thailand. In the pale pink-orange light, tiny black shadows moved lightning fast across the temple roof, jumped over the statues of gods, crossed the stone railings. It's not the early morning worshippers, but 300 crab-eating macaques, beginning their own morning ritual. With unexpected boldness, they descend from the hilltop into the town like a living wave, fast and unstoppable. Rooftops, streets, power lines, eateries, even swimming pools, all are their domain. Hua Hin residents are used to seeing the monkeys rummaging through trash cans, stealing food from tourists, or dangling from electric cables. Like reluctant circus performers. In a beach resort town, these monkeys are not just residents, they are a force. However, as the city has become too crowded, some of them have retreated to another world. the sea. Not far from Hua Hin, the island of Koh Rom rises from the blue water, separated from the mainland by salt waves and time. Here there is no trash, no restaurants, and no tourists to beg for food. The macaques have had to adapt, and they have done so in an extraordinary way by switching to seafood. They dig in the mud, turn over rocks, dig in the sand for crabs, snails, clams, mussels, and even learn to use rocks as tools to crack open shells. Some monkeys use the hammer and anvil technique, placing the shell on a large rock, and then using a smaller one to smash it. This skill requires strength, intelligence, and a lot of failure to learn. But the special thing is monkeys are not taught like humans. They learn by observing, imitating, and memorizing. A culture of tool use has been formed, and that puts them in the rare category of species other than humans that use tools to get food. Life on the island follows a tidal calendar. When the water recedes, seafood feasts are revealed on the rock. Female monkeys, male monkeys, and even baby monkeys rushed out, each with its own strategy. Some used rocks, some hit them directly, others used their nails and teeth to open the shell. Their skills were uneven, but their creativity was always abundant. Some individuals even throw rocks at other rocks to break shells, a behavior rarely seen even in chimpanzees, a primate species famous for its intelligence. Each individual has its own style, its own tools, its own hunting grounds, like craftsmen with their own family recipes. Everything in the group revolves not only around food, but also about power. The leader, usually a strong male or dominant female, has the right to eat first. The lower individuals have to wait or risk sneaking in and eating and being beaten as a warning. The hierarchy is maintained not only through strength, but also through social relationships, grooming, caring for the young, and even politics. While young learn by observing, adult males on the fringes of society often have to fight to join the group. If they fail, they are chased away, even beaten up and forced to swim to another island, where only other bachelors in exile live together. No children, no genetic future, just quiet and lonely adaptation. To tourists, the image of monkeys bathing in pools, rummaging through people's hands, or diving into the sea to pick up peanuts is a natural show. But behind that is a complex social ecosystem, where intelligence, emotion, competition, and kinship intertwine like a wild version of human society. Crab-eating macaques are not just monkeys that survive, they are monkeys that change, learn, and pass on their experiences. They are the first marine researchers without goggles, the first shell breakers without steel hammers, and the creatures that dance on temple roofs at sunset as if playing the last song of the day with their feet tapping on the tin. As the sun sets over the Gulf of Thailand, the macaques retreat to the mangroves, where they sleep, groom each other, and raise the next generation of seafaring creatures. Their lives, though chaotic, sometimes noisy, even dangerous, are surprisingly free. And adaptive. And when a macaque dives into the sea, eyes wide open underwater, scooping up a floating peanut, one can't help but wonder. Are they reminding us that if we want to live happily, we too need to learn to swim with our own tides?